He said it would be more effective. Liar. 7 shocking confessions that will leave you speechless. It sucks to be an atheist, and I envy people who believe in God. I know there's a lot of oddities and evil in religion, but man, what I wouldn't give to have the comfort that there's a higher power looking out for me, giving me the strength I need in this struggle, and is waiting to welcome me with open arms when I pass. What I wouldn't give for the certainty that everything happens for a reason, and the confidence that as long as I'm a good person and believe in Him, this life will be a momentary blip in an eternity of peace. Of course, sign me up. If I could only flip a switch in my brain that could make me believe. But instead I'm in this chaotic world, hanging on day to day, seeing so much awfulness in the world, so much unfairness, and knowing it's all nonsense. None of it means anything, and we are just a grain of sand floating in an endless, empty ocean. I wish I wasn't black. So let's get into it. I absolutely hate being black. I hate being associated with a group of people that are nothing like me, but that is what everyone only sees when they look at me. I am nothing but ghetto, uneducated, a baby mama, a teen mom, lives off government assistance, cannot talk proper, etc. And am constantly reminded outside of where I live how society as a whole sees black people through the media, here on the internet, magazines, the narrative constantly on repeat. No escape, just piling on shame and wishing I was born literally anything else but black. Being black is a curse. There is nothing to be proud of, nothing to hold my head up for, just a constant reminder in the mirror how less than I am no matter how much I try to forget. And when those that do talk to me are surprised that I am none of those stereotypes, it is just so frustrating to always have someone look shocked and surprised to find out I am the complete opposite of what they think they know. I am tired of living a life where people treat me differently because of the color of my skin, the staring, the fake smiles, the surprised looks when they see me in the same place they are in, the following around a store, the stopping and staring, the ignorant comments, the knowing socially I am on the bottom ladder, the knowing I am not considered beautiful when being compared to any other ethnic race, the knowing no man that I am would want to date would take me seriously or want to step out of his bubble. Or if he did, it would not be without some fetish or skin color pickup line. I hate it. I know I live in a not very diverse area that is called Orange County, California, where the black population is basically non-existent, but still not an excuse to have been treated the way I have been treated. I have over the years learned to shop at certain places to avoid the discrimination I know I would face at certain places, going certain places, avoiding being around certain group of people, the works. It is no way to live a life, and it all stems from my skin color. It does not seem to matter that I can shop at the same places, do the same things, live in the same area, drive the same cars, none of it matter. I am nothing but a black woman. I wish I was any other ethnicity so I am invisible, fit in, not treated differently, and not a part of a group of people with the stereotypes that black people have. I just am. I had an abortion at home last year and I'm glad I did. I wasn't supposed to get pregnant, but apparently even IUDs aren't 100% effective. My doctor wouldn't sterilize me because I was 22 and my husband might want more kids. He didn't even speak to my husband. My first pregnancy was when I was 16 and in high school. The father ended his own life. I wanted to abort, but I was too far along. I gave the baby up for adoption. It was a horrible experience, but the family the baby went to is amazing and we talk occasionally. I have 2 children of my own with my husband. I had a miscarriage between the 2 of them. That was another horrible experience as I had to have an operation. After the birth of my youngest child, I wanted to be sterilized. Given the amount of pregnancies and 1 miscarriage, I thought my doctor would do it. Nope. He refused, so I got an IUD instead. He said it would be more effective. Liar. 6 years later I'm pregnant with my IUD still intact. I cried every night. I can't afford a 3rd kid. I don't want another child. I called my dad and he was willing to help pay for a trip to his state where I could get to a Planned Parenthood. As I'm panicking and having anxiety attacks every day over this, my husband finds a forum with websites for abortion access. I end up picking one and ordering the pills from India. They arrived 4 weeks later. Miraculously, I already had the flu and was off work, so I took them the day they came in. It was over within a couple hours. The amount of relief I felt when it was over is indescribable. I was terrified, don't get me wrong. I wouldn't have gone to the emergency room if things went south. Thankfully they didn't. I was scared to seek emergency treatment out of fear I would be turned into authorities. I was going to let myself bleed out if it came down to it. I had already accepted the possible outcome. When it was over, I lied to my doctor and said I miscarried. This was easily believable as my ARD could cause miscarriages. He didn't question me, only said I should have gone to the hospital because I could have gone septic. Which he's right about. Thinking back on it, I should have told him. I know now I could trust him, but I didn't back then. I finally got my tubes removed in January. I'm so thankful. But I'm still scared for my younger friends and co-workers. My friends that deal with infertility and often have miscarriages. Some have even stopped their fertility treatment because of their high risk. I don't have daughters, but if my son's girlfriends ever need the kind of help I needed, you bet your ass I will be there for them. I'm happily destroying my parents' lives. I have 4 parents. My biological mother and father divorced and remarried, giving me a stepmother and a stepfather. My biological mother and stepfather are currently in prison for very serious crimes, but I've recently started sending letters to my mother after 7 years of ignoring her existence. I've been given a chance to write a letter that could possibly get her released in 5 years instead of the 13 she has left, and I'm absolutely not going to write it. I'm letting her have another 13 years to think about what a sick monster she is, and I hope it destroys her knowing I purposely didn't write the letter. As for my father and stepmother, I'm going to be putting them in prison as well. My father is a narcissistic abuser and my stepmother is an abusive enabler. I've already started ruining their lives by having the guts to move out and leave them without their main source of income. They took my every paycheck but refused to work themselves. After that, stepmother was forced to get a job and my father sat on his butt while the second oldest child, my sister, was forced to work and give them her pay as well. Then, about a year later, I was able to provide hard evidence of their abuse and neglect, and I was able to have all 6 of my younger siblings taken away and they're all split up between 3 foster homes. This absolutely infuriated the 2 and now I'm pressing charges against them for the abuse and neglect. Those monsters starved all of us nearly to death and almost beat us to death daily for seemingly small things. They're never going to be seeing me or my siblings ever again, and they'll be in prison so long they'll lose everything they own because there's no one else to care for their stuff. I'll keep making all their lives a living hell until the day they all die for what they put all of us kids through, and I don't regret it one bit. I have entered into an intimate relationship with my childhood bully's mother. It's the most incredible thing I think I'll ever do. I'm 24 and male for context. As a young teen he used to gang up with his friends and bully me for literally no reason. Well, we eventually grew up and school ended, but honestly the bullying still messes with me. About 2 months ago I recognized his mom at a bar. She's one of those young and hot moms and I'm not the shy loser I used to be. She doesn't know who I am or what her son did. She was single and we hit it off and she came to my place that night and we were passionate like it was our wedding night. Even years later I still hate her son so much, and his mom has been incredible. Even though I did this initially purely for revenge, she's actually a wonderful person and I want to see where this goes and hopefully at least be able to be civil with him. She told me she has a son about my age early on, which I know obviously, and this week she asked since we've been together for a couple months and are serious if I wanted to meet him this weekend. I said sure. We're having dinner Saturday night and I'm equally excited and nervous. I feel bad that this started as petty revenge because she deserves better than that, but the fact is her son's a fucking prick and a loser. I grew up, I got in better shape, I have a decent job and make good money while he still lives with his mommy and doesn't work. Well, he's going to be in for a big surprise this weekend. She mentioned he was already uncomfortable that her new boyfriend is his age, but oh man is he in for a world of hurt. Especially when I eventually become his stepdad, move into that house and tell him he needs to either get a job or get out. As his stepdad I won't let him be a burden to his mother anymore, and when he hears how vocal his mom is when with me he's going to want to move out anyway unless he enjoys hearing me with his mother every night. This weekend is going to be great. I can't wait to see the look on his face. I hate that I am transgender. I hate everything about being transgender. I was miserable as a girl for 17 years. It made me feel horrible. I had no confidence and I spent months crying myself to sleep because I wanted to be someone else so badly. I couldn't live like that. Now that I'm out, it's all so different. I'm happy, confident and can finally live my life the way I want. But it still feels horrible. I don't want to be trans. I just want to be a boy. I want to be normal, to not have to come out to everyone that used to know me. To not see how many people look at me differently now. To look at my body and not feel ashamed and disgusted because it's all wrong. Because my hips are too wide, because I'm too short and I'll never be the person I truly want to be. No matter what I do, I feel I'll never feel like a real man. I'll never get to be like all the other boys who experience childhood the right way for them. And for the rest of my life, I'll have to be on hormones. I'll have to pay thousands to get a surgery to let me do the same thing that millions of others can do, to simply walk around shirtless and feel comfortable. My future seems so exciting yet terrifying because it's already harder than it needs to be. I don't want this. I just want to be normal. I am giving my second child up for adoption to my sister and her husband who could not conceive their own children. I have a 2.5-year-old son who was unplanned. I couldn't go through with an abortion despite being pro-choice. He's a very smart and rambunctious toddler who is already saying almost full sentences. He's also a handful and I told myself I wouldn't have any more kids because I didn't believe I'd have the patience for another one. I left his dad because he was emotionally and verbally abusive. After ending it, I found out I was pregnant again and this time I was going to get an abortion until I thought of my sister and her husband who couldn't conceive kids of their own and were looking to adopt a child. I considered giving this baby to them instead since they were thinking of adopting. I really thought long and hard about each option and talked to my sister and her husband and asked if they would like to adopt this baby. Of course they asked if I was sure and I told them I thought long and hard about it and said I was more than happy to give this baby to them. I already mentally prepared myself for it and every time we discuss or talk about the baby I see my sister and her husband's face light up with joy and I can't help but cry tears of joy for them. I'm just glad to be able to bless a family who couldn't conceive a child of their own with a child. I do plan to get my tubes tied in the future because I really don't want any more kids. I'll be using my time as a single mom to heal myself from my past relationship and raise my son to be the complete opposite of this deadbeat dad. Somebody replied, I truly commend you for what you are doing. I have 2 pieces of advice. First, make sure you dot your I's and cross your T's legally on the adoption. Second, you said your ex was emotionally and verbally abusive. Most people like that are narcissistic and they hate to lose or think they have lost. Lastly, my wife and I decided we only wanted 2 kids. So, when she was pregnant with our second son, we looked into me getting a vasectomy. But our insurance didn't cover it. They did, however, cover her getting her tubes tied. When we talked to her doctor about it, they said that the best time to do the surgery was right after childbirth because the recovery time was about the same. And it was better to have 1 recovery than 2. I hope you enjoyed these confessions. Could you relate to any of them? Let me know in the comments below. And if you want to hear more dark stories like this, subscribe to the channel for my daily videos.